Sure, I never thought we could. How far are we now?
You know, this 1941 Chevy,
Yeah.
if we can just get to the street rod factory, they can bring it back to its glory, you know?
I was produced in 1941 and left to rust in peace in 1973, but it looks like this year is gonna be a good one.
We're there. Look, street
We're
rod
nearly there,
factory.
we're nearly there.
Yes.
We're nearly there.
Easy.
Okay, brick. Woman, now. Okay, I've got the brick.
Get your brick.
Keep it there.
Hurry up, before this car rolls away with me.
Was a piece of scrap, my engine was dead. Crushed in pieces is what they said. Now the blue came Riaan and Pat. Let's haul her home, let's bring her back. It's Chevy. Ooh, you love a heavy. Driving a Ford, it'll strike that chord. Street rods, Africa, here I come.
This is an exquisite lady.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. You know, I call her a nice, wonderful, reliable Magogo.
It took us 3 weeks.
You're 3 weeks.
From Cape Town to Joburg.
In today's episode, Riaan discovers his vision as we meet the folks from Street Rod Factory. We also find out to build the Dark Knight before we take the Ferrari Mondial for a drive. But that's not all.
I have a dream that one day Patrick Shai will drive a sleek-looking, smooth, suave Magogo.
Come.
Let's go.
Come, Patrick, yeah.
Wait.
I'll open the door for you.
Yeah.
Please get
Okay.
Just sit. We'll just drive over it.
Yeah. Gee,
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Here we go. Ooh, Ettiene, here we come. Oh,
Street Rod Factory, established in 1989, specializes in rodding, chopping and customizing. If you can dream it, these guys can build it. The SRF team is led from the front by the top dog in charge, Ettiene Botma. Barking right next to him is the SRF co-owner Neil Naidu to ensure petrol-perfect performance rod after rod. The second-in-command all-rounder Nico Greyling is a respected auto restorer in high circles. Jeffrey is a fiber-fantastic fellow that perfected the art of fiberglassing. Frederick is the ultimate helping hand and a master mechanic in the making. Piet is a new generation of street rodders that is about to teach the old dogs some new tricks. And behind any successful workshop is a determined and organized lady.
Etienne, can you do something with this?
Stop the smoke.
Yeah, stop the smoke. Yeah, smokes more darker than Bob Marley, this guy, I tell you. Maybe we change the fender, right, Riaan? And, I mean, the grill, we put in some nice lights and do something with this. And you put like a mattress bedding, what do you call it?
Running boards.
Running board.
What do you think? What can we do with this car? Where can we start? So we start in front. What about lights? I think this isn't part of the
No,
car.
that was added on.
Was it added on?
Yep. We remove all that, French this,
What's Frenching?
recess the lights inside the fenders,
Okay.
give it a more slicker look.
So we take this light out,
Out.
and then we cut it in the inside.
Inside, French it in.
What do you think about that, Patrick?
I think that the car will look much, much better than it is now.
With Frenching eyes.
With Frenching eyes. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at this, I think we'll have to change the radiator.
Radiator's got to come out.
What actually are you going to do to the engine?
Take it out, strip it complete.
Okay, if we go around the car, all of these, I like the chrome beads. Can we keep this?
Yeah, we can re-chrome that.
Yeah?
The strips on the sides.
All these sides, yeah.
More bling is me. Now give us more bling.
And I'm old school.
You can stay old school, but I'm going more bling.
Okay. Etienne, last question. What color do you think we should spray this?
Make it orange bottom, black at the top.
Orange and black.
That's it. But you know what, Riaan?
Okay.
In 1941,
Yeah?
Chevrolet introduced a completely new body. Concealed safety steps replaced the traditional running boards.
Yeah?
Yeah? And these changes would continue through the post-war models up to 1948.
Okay.
But also, they improved the existing six-cylinder engine for additional vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm telling you, Chevrolet and other General Motors cars offered shortwave radios as a factory option.
The styling and body of the Special Deluxe was similar as the Master Deluxe in 1941. The headlamps were incorporated into the fenders and the name could be found on the rear sides of the hood in chrome block letters. Under the hood was a 216.5 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine that produced 90 horsepower, and with the war looming it was nicknamed the Victory 6. The least expensive body style was a two-door business, which had seating for two and was available in 1941 for 6,700 rand.
They were cheap, man.
You can't even buy a bread for 6,700
Well,
rand.
unless you're in Zimbabwe.
The most expensive of the Special Deluxe series in 1941 was the four-door station wagon, with seating for 8 and a sticker price that was just under 8,000 rand.
But you know what, Riaan, we can't keep calling this a lady. We've got to find a nice name for her because she's going to walk out of this looking splendidly beautiful. What would the name be?
Something orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
What about the Orange Whale?
The Orange Whale 8.
The Orange Whale 8.
The biggest whale of a car was produced in 1927. The Bugatti Royale Type 41 is 6.7 meters in length and weighs more than 3.5 tons.
Street Rides Africa. Street Rides Africa.
This 1941 Chevy Coupe was once upon a time the golden bronze prize possession of Mr. Krause. But here we are ready to write the next chapter in her GM story. Motoring memories are something most of us can relate with, and nobody will ever forget his or her first car. I remember mine. It was a white 1275 GTS Mini, and after I finished it, it was purple. And do you know how many girls I got with that Mini? And it wasn't only the color or the looks, it was also the sound system. If you've got a heartfelt, funny, thought-provoking, or just a plain petrol-flavored story you would like to share with our Street Rods Africa team, go to our website, streetrodding.co.za, or visit our Facebook group and leave your comment on our wall. So let the games begin.
Now you've met the team, but the team hasn't yet met me. Judging from their faces, a lot of work awaits.
Ettiene, where do we start on this car?
We need to get a vehicle artist in to draw it up for us, what colors, what wheels, what we're going to do to the customizing, and from there we take it.
Ettiene Botma has for more than 19 years earned a well-deserved reputation for providing kits and parts in the street rod industry in South Africa. He's an artist who just happens to have a passion for motorized madness. His roots are deeply embedded in the hot rod coast of KwaZulu-Natal, where he became something of a street rodding legend with a violently modified Morris Minor. The addition of a V8 engine and some trick suspension mods saw Ettiene run a 10-second quarter mile in what was still essentially a street machine. His collection of trophies for drags and car shows speaks of a long career in petrol passion. His philosophy is simple: to build and help others build the finest looking affordable rods of our time. So Patrick, what is street rodding?
It's an American offshoot of the International Automotive Brotherhood that had its birth some 60 years ago. Youngsters began chopping up the old cars they could afford, giving them what today would be called street cred. A lack of money, but a desire to be different gave rise to the street rod movement.
Today there's a constantly growing hot rod culture and community worldwide, and South Africa is climbing on the modified bandwagon.
This is the first of our Hamptons drives. and it's a Ferrari, so I mean you can't really go wrong with that. It's called a Mondial, a 308 Mondial. I was a little bit worried at coming here in that I've got these big clod hoppers on. Fortunately, I brought these little slinky racing boots along, so let's put them on. In fact, you could possibly say that a Ferrari is styled like an Italian shoe. And as soon as I didn't have any Gucci loafers, I brought along these kind of slinky tackies, which suit the image, I think. The front end of this car is actually where it's really happening. It's probably the most impressive aspect of the car. Apart from these nice pop-up lights here, which are concealed when they're not in use, and the substantial driving lights down below here, you've got these beautiful styling strokes, firstly on the aluminium part of the grille over here, and secondly on the bonnet, which actually has echoes of the more impressive and much more expensive Testarossa. And these strokes actually have a practical use because beneath this bonnet over here, you've got your twin radiator mounts here. And the cold air is drawn in here, and the hot air is taken out here once it's passed through the radiator. So, yeah, a really nice, elegant mechanical and design solution. What Pininfarina has done is create a truly magnificent luggage compartment here. So there's enough space in here for luggage for 2 people. But of course, the heart of a car, and especially a Ferrari, is underneath this other little compartment over here. One of the things I really love about Ferrari is the detail they go to with the engines. And I mean, in that I don't mean so much mechanical detail, obviously there is that, but the aesthetic detail. Take for instance this air plenum chamber over here with the Quattro Valvoli logo cast into it. Quattro Valvoli actually stands for 4 valves, and this particular engine here produces 270 horsepower, which translates to about 206 kilowatts. Now this is a V8 engine in this Ferrari, but it actually sounds nothing like a V8, and that's because of the particular firing order. They fire the cylinders at different times in this Italian engine as they do in an American V8, hence the resonances are totally different. In fact, it sounds pretty much like 2 4-cylinder engines having a dice with each other. So I was expressing my reservations about the styling of the car, and the guys from Hampton said to me, we're very interested to see what I think when I bring the car back. And already I must say, I've driven the car, it's a really short distance, but I'm enjoying it already. Part of the reason is the amazing torque of this motor. I love this skinny rimmed steering wheel. It's normally nowadays people have gone for fatter and fatter steering wheels, but I think it suits the area of this car. No camminess, no hiccuping, no farting and banging. It pulls off like a normal car, just with this rather harsh mechanical sound, which is what you'd expect from a thoroughbred. That raucous roar there, this is where you're hitting the sweet spot. This is where we're starting to eat the Ferrari.
Whether you ask Ferrari, Porsche or Tata, any good design starts on paper.
What we usually do is we'll take just a basic drawing of the car,
Yeah.
sketch it up in pencil.
Okay.
So we've got some basic lines. Preferably do it at an angle. You can do it just from the side view, but as far as I've heard, we are going to change things on the car, on the front.
Johan, where do we go from the pencil drawing now?
On the pencil drawing, we'll actually take our French curves and a black fine liner and start finishing off our drawing
Okay.
to more perfect line drawing. Finally, we'll end up with a drawing that looks like this.
Wow. I quite like this. It's like a parrot face in front there, but I would like to put something in the front, maybe still a little grill going in there.
Yes, what we can do is we'll make some notes on here to show how it's actually going to curve on the actual line drawing.
Yeah.
On the next stage, what we'll do is we'll just make a quick pencil sketch again where we start playing with the colors of the actual car. In this case, this one is going to be like a very bright orange color.
Yeah.
real car paint reflects different than what the inks we use on paper. So we need to simulate and create highlights and depth on the car. Where on a natural car with natural paint, it just happens by itself.
And the roof is going to be black.
Yes, that's going to be black.
Okay. Now that's starting to get to something, eh?
So you'll notice, like I said, with the different depths of color, we overlay and overlay colors. That's why also when we work, we don't really worry about the edge of the car. We keep on working over the edge of the line to get the line slick on the actual body of the car. This one eventually will be cut out. What's nice about the cutouts is when we add mirrors, square ones, round ones, or beadings, we can do it in the same way by trimming the image
Yeah, and then you
from out. Then we can actually drop little images on the last drawing for you.
Okay. And then we're going to the finals.
Yes.
Now that's a car. That's a 41 Chevy, man. This is unbelievable. This is actually what I want, huh? You think that little black car is going to become like this car? Just wait and see, because with Ettiene and his team, I think we're one step further. Did you know that it was also an Ettiene that made the first Chevrolet drawings on 15 March 1911 in Detroit? By November 3, 1911, the Chevrolet Motor Car Company entered a turbulent automobile market, hoping to be competition for the then Ford Model T. Or that was the vision the owner of the company, Riaan, had. He chose to name the company after its designer Louis Chevrolet because he liked the sound of the name and because Chevrolet was a prominent name in the motorsports. However, the Louis Chevrolet car, the Classic 6, was too expensive to compete with the Model T Ford. So Riaan had to give up on the big cars and started producing smaller cars known as the Little Fours. Louis Chevrolet didn't like the Little Fours at all and lost his name to the company for $10,000 and left his job as a mechanic in the factory to continue with his racing career. The Little Fours had little as the emblem on the radiator and not Chevrolet. The Chevrolet bow tie has been one of the world's most recognized trademarks since 1913, when William Durant first introduced the symbol that represents Chevrolet's winning success.
Street Rides Africa. Street Rides Africa.
What do we do? Where do you start? And how soon?
As soon as possible.
Yes, immediately.
Remove fuel, brake fluid, and radiator.
Why do we start with that?
Safety first, no sparks on your fuel.
Okay, so it's fuel tank, radiator,
And brake fluid
and brake fluid. So where do you want us to start?
at the radiator, the dirty job.
Okay, Patrick. This is the last strip. I'll bring you the tools.
Yo.
What size is that?
Look, while you guys are sorting out the radiator and the tools, I'm going to leave you guys to this because, yeah, I need to go and check out the car that I'm going to be driving.
Okay.
Look, I'm not going to be spoiling my clothes with the oils and all of that. See you later, guys.
Okay.
Get the radiator out, get all the inflammable fumes out, and safety first. Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to start on this side. Let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go. Okay?
Smile, Nico. Come on, give us a smile. You can do it. Oh, nicely done. Nico was recognized by American Chopper as South Africa's best bike builder.
Now, what was the state of this car when you first found it?
It was a heap of rubbish, all rusted,
Yeah.
had holes in. It was only a body that I bought from a guy.
And these mirrors, where did you get them and what are they from?
That's motorcycle mirrors. I made new stems for them and fitted them to the vehicle.
You take parts from a motorbike and built this beautiful baby?
Well, I'm manufacturing motorcycles, And that's why I use motorcycle spares, aftermarket indicators. I use bits and pieces of everything. If I can't manufacture it, then I use something else.
Now, tell me about the color. Why you chose the color and how is this color mixed?
It's a color I mixed up myself. I've put a black base onto the car, and then in my clear coat, I use the acrylic pearl to get the sparkle in the color.
Oh, okay.
And it's a blue sparkle that I use.
That's a blue spark. I'm telling you, this guy's got more makeup than Miss Universe. Now, okay, these are the fenders.
This is a fenders. I got it from Ettiene. He specially widened it for me to fit the wheels that I use there. And then also I've got the runner boards that are also made out of pipes.
Good. Do you think I can use this beautiful baby just to go buy some parts for Riaan?
This is a workhorse. That's what I say. It's a daily runner. You can use it. You're welcome to use it.
There is no substitute for cubic inches. My name is Joe and I'm the editor of SA Hot Rod magazine. And my job is to drive the best rods in South Africa. Just like this one, a 1938 Chevy pickup. Now what was great about the pickup was that in 1937, they converted to the 1-tonner and the 3/4 tonner. Now that's when they really started making the backs and stuff on these things and they really started getting their shape. Now there's so much we want to see on this car. This car is brilliant. Let's have a look at this one. Now, Nico Greyling is a bike builder. And what I love about this car is he did everything himself. He did the paint, he did the exhaust. He even went and redid this grille, which he had re-chromed everything. He used his biking skills and he made up bumpers for this car. And he put Harley-Davidson lights on the front as well as the indicators, which I thought was such a great idea. I'm going to be doing that on my rod. Now what Nico's got in here is a 283 V8. He's also running a BMW radiator and a Nissan brake booster. But something I really want to talk about is the coil. This is a distributor cap and a coil all in one, which makes your life a whole lot easier and is better to use. Now, Nico made up his own running boards and stuff on this car, and it's also sitting nice and high. Like we said, he uses this every day, so he needs to load a lot of stuff into the back. Now, I love this truck, and I actually think I'm going to put this in the magazine. So guys, keep rodding.
After the long drive here and delivering reels of Chevy history to camera, I can finally get my hands dirty and start to work my vision. The team from Street Rod Factory and I quickly loosened some nuts and bolts, and once we got started, it seemed there are 1,000 and some more in the Orange Whale 8.
What are we going to do with the taillights?
See, I like this original taillights because everything is still in a good nick. You know, it's still glass, and this can be re-chromed.
Yeah.
So this is the original one, which I quite like. What do you think? What else can one put in here?
What about that?
Ettiene, the teardrop is nice. But you know what I like about it is this little bit of original on this, because then we've got to cut everything out here again, eh?
We're going to cut it, we're going to cut it.
Can we get something nice to put in here as well?
What about that?
Oh, that looks great, huh?
Even fits.
It fits, yeah. I like that a lot. But Ettiene, you know, you're still the master. And at the end of it, I think when we get to the point, we can decide, is it teardrop
We'll still fight about that.
or is it the original one? But I think for now, it's the interior seats. Let's get them out. Sure. I thought it was quick and easy. Lots of work, but fun. Now this week it was all about the vision of this 1941 Chevy. We drove it all the way from Cape Town to Joburg. We went through the whole vision, the color with Johan. Ettiene started dismantling the whole car. And that's where we are today. We're going to dismantle this whole car and then it's got to be sandblasted. But as you know, rodding is from America. And I've been invited to see my show to be a judge on the annual Hot Rod show So next week, we'll give you some lovely shot out of Vegas. But for now, dismantling the car. There's no doubt about it. People seem to have a lot of questions about the vehicles they drive each and every day. Aside from letting you know exactly how the nuts and bolts stuff in your vehicle really works, we also try to answer some of the more intriguing questions that you may have. To start off this new